Taylor Knibb, we were commentating the race and we sort of ran out of things to say because for 90 minutes, 2 hours, we just talked about how good you were, how dominant you were, how no one's close to you, and it kind of got boring because you were just winning by so much and no one was ever going to catch you. Was it the perfect day, or did things go to plan? Was there things that went wrong? Did you feel like you were on top the whole day and you were sort of never in danger?
Well, no, I think you can never say never, and I had a bigger lead in Dallas. We also had that ended up in 2022, so with these phenomenal women that I'm racing, you never know, and it's put your cards out there and then see what happens. But like each lap on the run gave me a lot of information, but the run will decide it always. So like you have to swim, bike, and run well.
Speaking of the run, I think you had the third fastest run for the day. You had by far the fastest bike of the day, and you swam at the front of the swim, but you didn't actually come out of the swim in first because of the line that Imogen Simmons took. But my point is that I think for a bit you were looked at as the best cyclist in triathlon. You clearly still that, but you're also one of the 3 or 4 best runners and one of the 3 or 4 best swimmers too.
Well, probably not in short course racing. I mean, I just got 11th in a WTS race, so that is not the top, and there are women who are a lot better than me, and so that's, I think, one of the blessings I have in terms of racing all these distances is I get to race at Beth Potter, and then I get to race Ashley Gentle and Kat Matthews like within 2 weeks, and that's fun.
Speaking of Ashley Gentle, the build up all week was that she's your rival, it's you versus her, and she ended up in 8th and almost 15 minutes behind you. Did you think that was going to be the case on this course, or were you surprised by how far back Ash was?
Not at all. I was shocked, but at the end of the day, also I think, and I think I said this in a previous interview, it's like when you put focus on people, like other people can slip under the radar, and it's kind of like, please look at the whole pro women's field, because out of these, there will be the winner, and you just never know, and out of these will be also the podium, so like no one should get an easy like slide in under the radar, because everyone is phenomenal, and so everyone has a shot at the win and a podium.
Were you surprised by Kat Matthews' race? Did you expect her to be that close to you? She only ended up a bit over 3 minutes behind. I know that's a fair way, but for how you performed today, that's actually pretty close, I think. Were you surprised by that? Well,
no, I think after Finland last year, you've got to look at Kat and see she's one of the best athletes at this distance, and so when it was like if I lap 2, I'm like, yeah, like she is having a phenomenal day, and I've got to be on top of my game because she's chasing and riding hard, and seeing her ride away from Laura, that was like, okay, like Kat's bringing it, and we have to all respect that, and so I have to thank her for pushing me to the line the whole day.
What did you think of the swim?
What did I think of the swim? Well, I think it was really helpful. I don't know if I would have handled it well going first, but I think it was really helpful seeing the men, seeing how fast it was, and seeing that they all came out together. So like I had accepted by like 6:20 a.m. We started at 6:45, so I had 25 minutes to wrap around it, that, you know what, like we will probably all exit the water together. And so it's like, you know what, this is an opportunity, so can I win it when everyone comes out of the swim together? Like that was what I was like, how can you race with that? And so, yeah, I don't normally come out of transition behind Kat and Laura, but this probably will not be the last time that happens. Like we might be here again, there might be a different race, I might not swim well, you just never know. And so I think it was a really great opportunity, and I was in front for part of the swim. Imogen, I heard, took a fantastic line and just was out. I was like, where did that come from? Yeah. But I wasn't getting cued, I wasn't getting any, like, it was just like get to the finish, and like the nice thing is like when everyone's with you, and I accepted that, I was swimming my pace, and I wasn't going to wreck myself. So it was a nice, like, just get through it, race well, and it was also weird with the gloves and the booties, but everyone had to do it, so.
And then when you were in T1 with everyone and you had the opportunity to go, okay, we're going head to head today, did it make you ride harder earlier, or did you just do your thing and see what happened?
Well, so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, I really should have, Dylan sent us that email about like the spacing because we didn't have Race Ranger, and I'm like, oh, I should have studied it a bit further, because I'm like, I'm gonna come up on these women, and so it was like, when do I pass them? And like, I kind of held back a little bit and like tried to pass well. But I was really worried about that. But then Imogen was like, I think on the right side, so I'm like, sorry, Imogen, like, can I please come by you? But then like once I passed her, it was very clear, and she was very polite, and it's because it's tough to remember to ride on the left-hand side of the right lane. But so fair play to everyone. But yeah, so it was just a different dynamic, and I was glad that there were the hills.
And apart from crossing over with you on the course when you passed Imogen, that was the last time you saw anyone on the race, because by the time you got to the top of the hill, Imogen was quite a way back, and so was everyone else. Do you see climbing as one of your strengths, or especially compared to everyone else, or do you think that a flatter course actually suits you more?
I don't know, that's a good question, because I think it's like how it plays out relative to everyone else. It's like, okay, what are your strengths and what are their strengths? Because if someone else's strength is a hill, then it might diminish yours. But like, I would have been excited for a flat course. The nice thing is that with the hill, you cannot hide and you can't cheat, you can't draft. So even if like you can't get in, so it's just everyone rides their race, and it was really interesting. But it was also like there was the climbing section, and then it was a pretty technical descent, I would say. The men might say differently. They were probably bashing it.
No, Kyle Smith and Martin Van Riel said afterwards how sketchy the descent was.
Yeah, and it was just like there were like times on that descent where I'm like, do not wreck your Paris race.
Yeah.
Like that was, and 2 times, same exact spot. I was going 38 miles an hour. Sorry, I use miles.
How much is that?
Okay, 38 miles an hour. I don't know, probably like
60?
Yeah, 64 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was like coming back down. We went under the tunnel, and then the first time there were like 3 pedestrians walking by, and the second time there was a cyclist, and I'm like, oh God, like 2 out of the 6 laps in the same exact spot. But you just kind of have to move past that immediately and be grateful that you're still upright.
Are you better this year than what you were last year at this distance, do you think?
Oh yes, Milwaukee, that was a race where I was just like, I just wanted to lay down the whole race. I wasn't really happy on the bike, and I just like had to save myself on the run. But yeah, my training's very different this year, and so I'm kind of shocked, but I'm very grateful, and I'm not focusing on this distance quite yet, but that'll come in the fall.
We were talking before this about just dominated, and it was quite hard to talk about because you were just by yourself the whole day, and it's like, okay, well, we start talking about how good you are, and then we do it a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, 7th time, and by the 20th time, it's like, how many different ways can we say how good Taylor Knibb is and how dominant she is today? Do you prefer that? Would you rather go out and be off the front all day with a big gap, or would you like to get involved in a battle like Rico Bogan, Martin Van Riel, and Kyle Smith had today?
Oh, I would love that, but I'm not going to sit up for that. So I want to execute my best race, and if other women are there, fantastic, I would love that. But like, I'm not going to soft pedal a bike ride for that purpose. I want to execute my best race, because it's also like, racing is an important stimuli, and that's in my plan, and that's part of my whole process. So like, this is an opportunity to really get in a good, valuable effort that I need to get in.
Last one from me. What do the other girls, women, have to do to catch up to you?
Oh, I don't know, just like, this is one day, one race. I mean, I could be on the other end of the spectrum in Ibiza, you never know. It's a long time, and so it's just, I think, just realizing that we're all human here, and like 2 years ago, I had a 10-month injury, so you just don't know. I'm still learning, I'm still developing, and I'm just trying to get better each day. Maybe you need a 20-month injury for them to catch up. No, I mean, I'm very excited for Flora and Taylor Spivey to join the series, and because I think they should not be underestimated. Taylor, well done. Pretty flawless, really, and great to watch, so thank you. Well, thank you.